how often do we also lose faith in Jesus' word? How often do our circumstances point us to fear the unknown, and as a result, to not put our faith in his word? How often? Probably a lot, and I'm there with you. It's not easy. I think what we see in this is that Jesus was much more concerned with their surrender to his word than they were to their safety, real or perceived. Don't miss this. This is so important. Jesus may be more concerned. I think he is. Jesus may be more concerned with your surrender than he is with your safety. I think we all need to just let that sink in for a minute. Because what do we always pray? God, protect me. God, protect us. Which is not a bad thing, right? Like, we want to live. That's good. But what if Jesus is more concerned, and he was more concerned with the disciples' surrender to his word than he was with their perceived safety? Could it be that that's the case? And then maybe. Like, just imagine. You're on the verge of death, and then Jesus comes in and calms everything. Who then is this? That even the winds and the waves obey him. Who is this? It's a question I think we all have to ask ourselves. Who is this? And they were saying this even though they were spending every single day with him. Their gap was just too wide. Not this gap, but their gap of what they understood about Jesus and who he really was. You see, their gap was just too far. They didn't truly understand who he was. So when they were faced with some kind of difficulty, they were putting their faith in what they knew about him and not who he really was. But here's the thing, we have to remind ourselves, their gap eventually grew smaller. Because guess what? At the resurrection, they discovered the true power of Jesus. Their gap grew smaller, and I think when our gaps grow smaller in who we understand Jesus to be and who he really is, when we can get that gap smaller and we can understand who he truly is, then we may just have the bold kind of faith that we can go into any kind of circumstances and know that Jesus is Lord and Jesus is Savior, and that is all we need to know. I think it could be very powerful if our identity, if our understanding of who Jesus is could rise up. It may just make a result in how each one of us live every single day.